when that division still existed. But it looks like we have gone live on the server, but we did see a pause. So I think actually we're going to be live for maybe around 30 seconds, and then someone will crash on mid.
Yeah, we will see if there's going to be a restart, but I'm just going to take it away as if we are starting. So this is Ascent versus Feint on process. Right now, Domo and your boy Lucas exchanging a lot of frags coming out. Gink taking some frags, and Ascent are being eaten apart. Am's the only survivor. Seed's actually going down though, so Ubers are equal, but a great start from Feint there.
It was, yeah, I'm not going to lie, I didn't actually get to catch a whole lot of that mid because my game was definitely not working there.
Okay, no.
I was trying to sort out some technical issues here, but it looks like everything did go relatively well. Both mids died though, so it is going to be like even Ubers.
Yeah, but there is a lot of building. Seeds is a phenomenal builder, so I wouldn't be surprised to see if he actually builds out a little bit quicker than Connor. He's currently at the 50%. Looks like Pappy's wanting to create a little bit of space as Feint are looking to bring things forward. They're notorious for their ability to play very aggro and get their boy Lucas into good positions. But right now, Domo watching things out. Everything's very, very slow as they're trying to make decisions on how they want to move things forward. We may have had a disconnect. That's why the pause happened earlier. But right now, things are just between this mid to second stalemate, Kermit. And we're kind of waiting for those actions. How are they going to break this? What do you think Feint are going to have to do to press on to this second?
Well, we've seen Zebosai's getting buffed and coming into rupees. It's one nice direct actually on the classy there. But like they've just got Condor just kind of hiding around the corner here. Like I think what they're maybe trying to just bait Zebos here. No, they're just, it's the AMS play. They just go for an exchange straight onto point onto Lucas and Seeds.
Milks that perfectly. Seeds not actually letting that happen. Lucas going for the trap out. Huge amount of damage. Look at that collapse onto Connor and Credu. And right now, Feint needs to start clearing up players. Am's going in with the recommit. And actually, they've gained some frags in their way. Am's picking up some decent frags going on to Lucas. Can Lucas win the 1v1? No, he can't. And actually, at the end of that, Ascent with a really, really good return, even though they had a terrible Uber exchange.
Yeah, the Uber just did not go well at all, really. It was just the post Uber was the only thing that actually worked there at all for Ascent. It looks like we've actually got Happy trying. Okay, he does get out of mid there. He was 6 HP. Yeah, he was not healthy. Yeah. So Seeds did die like a little bit later than Condor, but it's still even Uber. So I think they're just going to go try and just dry push in here off Uber.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming out of Lucas as Feint are bullying their way in. We've got Pappy going in with a big bomb, doing a connect, getting through. Gink cleaning up Polygon on 5 HP is going to get cleaned up by Credu, and Ascent pushing on the left-hand side. Huge amount of damage onto Choke, but no further connections. Zam takes the high ground, exchanging piece by piece. Lucas trying to bully them off, take them off that situation. I think Seeds is wanting to bring them back, make sure that they're not going to get collapsed upon denying the jumps, and that's what they've done. But Am's wanting to take this. I think he's going for another straight Uber push in from Suicide, and he is in on Lucas, taking him down, but Seeds has got his Uber. They can do a return here. Seeds milking perfectly. Is this going to be a collapse onto Ascent as they go forward? Connor trying to stay alive. Thomas on the chase. He's also got a soldier on top of his head. Connor staying alive for so long, but ends up going down to Pappy. And as the players start to clear, Seeds in a terrible position as Domo and Credu looking to chase them. No heals on the side of Ascent though, so they can't stay in for too long as they managed to push them out of second turning.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to be able to hold second here. Yeah, Ascent need to leave or they're just going to feed. Like the Uber exchange, like kind of started off bad with Lucas dying there, but like it was really nice by Siege just making sure the team got out. Like he knew that they had Uber disadvantage. Like he did like take it into count that it was the fact that like he spawned maybe like 5-10 seconds after Condog, but still somehow built so well that he was only just a few percent behind, even though it should have been really 25 or something. But Seeds has full Uber advantage here, 40%. They're going to try and come in.
Yeah, Polygon and Zebaside go for the bomb. Zebaside's going to get cleaned up, but Polygon's gone on the backhand side, but they managed to clean him up and they haven't used their Uber, so they've sacrificed 2 soldiers for a force that has not happened. Lucas looking maybe like he wanted to jump forward there, but they're going to go through Suicide. I think they're going to go for a really hard aggro push here, Kermit. And oh my god, Ascent have gone around the backhand side. They're trying to clean up players. They get Ging, they get Pappy. This is absolutely perfect. They used that Uber so early though. Seeds with the milk onto Connor. Connor's going to get cleaned up here. He tries to stay alive, but Feint with a nice return. But Ascent, again, not letting Feint have any sort of advantage, pressuring them as much as possible. Zebraside forcing them out of sewer, and they're still on the chase. Right now, they're going through choke. Siege gets picked up by Domo. What is happening, Kermit?
This is just, like, you can just tell that Ams is taken back over as being the main caller for Ascent here with just how aggro the players are and that he is the focus of every single Uber. Thomas is actually behind on mid there and he cleans up Polygon. They're probably going to get Ams here in sewer. And oh god, Ams actually gets one.
Is he going to get the second? No, Thomas cleans him up. That would have been an awful situation for Thomas if he lost that. But Zebraside coming out is completely trapped in between the Soldier and Sticky. Is he going to win the 1v1? He trades with Pappy.
That's not great.
That's really not good for
especially as Ascent are going to come in knowing that they have Uber advantage here, because again, Seeds died just a little bit after Condor.
And Lucas, a huge amount of damage, may be able to pick up.
Yeah,
he gets Domo! Can he get another frag or damage across? This is the thing about Lucas, he's so good at chasing frags with his Iron Bomber, and Ging in a perfect position to go straight into big rockets out of Ging! And right now, Ascent need to start bullying out Feint as their aggression is really, really good, Kermit. And they managed to get control a second. We've not seen a round go to either team, but this could be it. Seeds is about to get his Uber. They could do an Uber exchange. They've got the player advantage for about 10 more seconds as they're coming in on the right-hand side. I think Ams wants to force the exchange, but he Ubers earlier than the Feint roster, trying to get him to flash. It looks pretty good for Ascent, but there's a lot of forcing out by Feint. They're going to put players onto the point. They're trying piece by piece. They're getting it about halfway. They're trying to get the separation. Lucas in a good position to come back in. Everyone is so low on the side of Ascent, but they're starting to pick up players. Thomas actually getting onto Polygon, gets cleaned up by Credu, and Feint have to back out. Not the worst push, but I think they just stayed in a bit too long.
Yeah, again, you can see that it's Am's main column. Like, it was Credu is the only scout alive there, and they just ran straight into the Feint combo. Like, what would have probably happened there if that call hadn't been made is that Feint would go for some sort of force play onto Condor and then just back up and repush for full ad. But they just don't give them the chance, and they just Uber exchange on Credu with the solo scout Uber.
And on the right hand side, Lucas actually gets picked up by Credu. A Polygon getting picked up by Seeds, and frags are going left and right, 2 apiece right now, as Ascent managing to push out Feint. Feint not able to really connect anything more than just exchanging frags.
Yeah, then like it's even Uber here, so they're just.
Oh my god, that's a drop!
Like, what? No, he must have been at like 98, 99%. I can't believe Connor would drop him.
Zebraside with the last attempt, but that's going to be the first round going to Feint. A really good drop onto Connor, whether it was 100% or 99, that's still so crucial. And the first round is going to Feint, and we've got 20 minutes left, so it's all to play for still for Ascent as we come out to the second mid Kermit. And Domo looks a little bit quicker right now, trying to get onto Lucas. Some big bombs coming out of Ginge, getting that space. And we're going to be waiting for the initiation as Polygon looking to set up, getting on that high bomb, gonna try and collapse on the Siege. Look at the damage going across, but nothing connects. Freddy getting picked up. Look at this very confident Feint cleaning up players. Domo, the only survivor, going for the clutch play onto Siege, not going to get it, and that's a full wipe for Ascent.
Yeah, that mid was all Pappy and Gink. Like, Pappy just did a high bomb hit, like one nice rocket on a Condor for like 100 damage. Gink get a long range, I think, spam rocket onto him. And then the two of them just did enough damage that the team could just...
The control point is being contested.
Lucas very, very far forward, trapping things up. They're going to be holding second because they did lose Connor. The Seat is still alive. So are we going to see a good old Kader-style push where we just force in that demo so deep and chase with the scout Kermit, as they have got the sentry gun. Have they got anything else? No, just the sentry gun set up. Ams having a little bit of an exchange with damage. Got the Ponson firing off, and Lucas going to go in, choosing not to do the jump, but the sentry gun does get cleaned up. He's cleaning up Spawn. They're trying to pressure onto Point, but right now, Zebraside is going to go down, but frags are going. No, the demo is down for Ascent. The time is on the point, and that is the second round going to Feint.
Yep. It's a good choice for Lucas not to do like the jump up onto top or anything. Like, just get the gun, just stay in the low ground, you can spawn camp, make sure no one can come out the right hand spawn. and then his team, like his soldiers and himself, like can just spam the left-hand side to make sure that heavy gets absolutely nothing done at all.
Feint really
it's
showing their
good.
colours right now.
Yeah.
100%. As on this mid corner, right now we're waiting for the setup again. Is Ging's going to try and do something? Zebersai's waiting for maybe a buff or a timing. Ging's going to take a lot of...
Oh, Polly with a shot again.
God! Zebersai is in onto Seeds. This is Ascent's mid. They're starting to clean up house. That was such a good bomb in, but Classy winning the 1v1. Zebersai coming down. I just got absolutely told as
Lucas is on the bomb.
Lucas, is he going to win the 1v1 against Connor? Connor dealing huge amounts of damage, but he survives on 8 HP.
Classy was there as well, just to get the assist as well. There was no way I think Connor was going to get out there.
What a riposte from Feint.
Yeah, that was, yeah, they just with no, I guess that's just like the focus fire, like from the team, like they just play really well together. They know exactly who to shoot at all times, and they always know who's weak. It was really nicely done.
And they looked like they were going to set up a sentry gun on last, but I think they've decided to actually come into second because Feint haven't pushed that yet. But they are going to be about a 40% ad kermit. So right now, Feint are looking pretty strong. I think they just want to build it out and maybe go into second and try and collapse on them. Again, 2-point lead, you do not need to rush at this point.
Yeah, they definitely don't. As I say that though, they're just taking like Thomas right through top PC here. They're just Uber in exchange. They've killed Zebo, but I don't think they're actually going to be able to get as far as Condog. No, they're just going to have to sack someone in. Gink might try and come in from lobby or something here.
They're dealing a lot of damage. Polygon is behind though, denying the cap.
Yeah.
Look at the rockets, but Lucas turns around the last second. But Feint are in on last. They're doing a Froyo tech, and they managed to get Connor at the last second.
Stands on the point.
And yeah, just standing on the point.
Yep, he just stood there while the rest of his team just distracted the enemy combo, and the easy third round for Feint here.
Feint looks so strong. Like I mentioned before, that usually Ascent win out against Feint, but on this process map, Feint are very confident. And Ascent, what do they have to change to get control of this?
They're just playing like really chaotic. They look like they almost like aren't sure of what their actual game plan is. Like they're just going as they if they
What huge a pound from Domo and co. Those bombs coming in, Domo with some really, really good aggression onto them, and Seeds all alone in lobby trying to stay alive. Creddy with the chase. Creddy's getting super low, but Seeds is going to end up going down. Two players chased him all the way to last, but Ascent winning out that big fight very confidently.
Yep, and that's unfortunate. Like Seeds was so close to getting back to spawn, but he just died like the tiniest bit outside the spawn door. Actually, is this Pappy's fighting Polygon on mid here? I'm not sure how Pappy got this far behind, but
I think he just kind of survived and hung.
Yeah, but the Ubers come in from Ascent here. They're just going to Predator trying to play the point, but Lucas is still alive. He's getting a lot of damage out here.
Yeah, Gink actually getting out Polygon. Pappy coming in the last second, but that is going to be around to Ascent as they did some really good separation and ended up just pushing things perfectly into last, cleaning up that heavy. And we got ourselves a bit of a game now. Ascent showing their teeth.
Yeah, if they can keep this up, they should be able to prove some more of a problem to Feint than they have they did in the first 3 rounds.
They need to get that control back.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like right now. Well, earlier Feint were just so much in control, taking the fights they wanted to fight. But Zebersai gets completely denied as he tries to go for the bomb. Polygon super low as well. As Domo actually going to get cleaned up by Gink. Nice bomb from him trying to sink onto that. But Domo actually catching him with a pipe. So they have traded. And right now, and the only survivor left with Connor.
Die
now
he just killbangs. Yep, yeah.
No point getting chased there. No point prolonging the Uber disad.
Yeah, even though he and Ams died a few seconds apart because they killbanged so quickly, it's actually they've got the same spawn wave, so it's big disadvantage, but at least he's spawning a lot sooner, and like he'll be able to buff the entire team by time Feint come in.
Well, Feint are playing such a fast game. Like
this is such a Credo is trying to go injury here, but he died so late and he spawned like incredibly late on injury. I don't think he shouldn't be able to get any gun up here, but
yeah, I think Lucas is going to want to go straight in. He's going to get denied by the sentry gun. He's going to clean it up. He's got the lock and load to deal with it as well. as they're looking to now separate them away from point. Pappy is behind, so he may be able to deal with the Buddhist. If we get a bomb over from Ging, exchanges left and right. Credit picking up Ging though. Thomas going down, and it's currently 2-1. There's the third one of Pappy going down. Ascent holding on to their last, showing their teeth. And done.
Ams on the flank though just ran through lobby and just killed Seeds. So the 80% ad for Condogs just become easily over 100.
Yeah.
Gink is on sniper though in sewer. He's going to peek. Does whiff the shot onto Condog there.
Yeah, Condog is not going to peek. Someone's going to skip and a jump, and that's going to be Zebasai onto Gink, trying to deny, and he's just chasing the whole way. He doesn't want to let it happen. He's probably going to end up going down as a result. We have got to pause though, guys. So, you know, what are you thinking so far? Feint are showing themselves to be very strong, Kermit.
Yeah, like the aggression, like it seems it's one of like Pappy's main things. He just loves to go aggressive. Like if he can like just get any, not even in the same way that Ams likes to go aggressive with these like what I'll call questionable Uber trades, or questionable at times, questionable Uber trades. Pappy will just want to go in. Like if it's even Ubers or just neither team has Uber and it's even numbers, they'll just want to go in. They'll try and work a pick. Like they did it before, I think, in PC, like where they just ran Thomas in on heels. They just ran him straight through. They got the pick on his, I think it was on his Zebo. Like they'll just always go for these plays, and it's working out for them so far. It is
working out for them, and I think one really important thing, Kermit, is the way that I've mentioned this before, like before lands, is Pappy has his team under a single mindset.
Yeah.
And they play in that single mindset. When you talk about Pappy going aggressive, what you're talking about is Feint like to go aggressive.
Yeah.
Everyone is on board with what Pappy wants.
Yeah.
Whilst Ascent have some amazing players, I feel like sometimes Ams wants to go in, and it almost feels like the other members in the team are like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You want to go forward? But we are going to be back live onto this push onto mid from Ascent. Gink backing out. He probably needs to swap off, but he's going to be looking for some picks. You know, Gink known for Roma, but he can pop off on sniper.
Oh yeah, for sure. Gink like hit, I think it was maybe at the very start of this season or last season where he hit some unbelievably like insane 4 or 5k on sniper, like on Gully Wash. I think it was. Like Gink can definitely play sniper.
Oh, 100%. If he gets the opportunity to pop off, he can. One is Gunnery. I saw him do some really good work on there. But right now, let's talk about Ascent and talk about their setup right now. Ubers are equal, but Polygon's looking to go in onto the sentry gun. They're going to clean that up, but they've lost Zebasai and Polygon for a sentry gun. That, I don't agree.
Yeah, if they'd gotten the foresight of Seeds, then yeah, obviously that would be worth it, but I'm not, yeah, it's just not worth it. Don't know if we're going to see an off-class. I don't think I've seen either of these two off-class from Soldier at all, though. Unless they, like, hold the door for Credo to run back, but it looks like they've not done that.
There doesn't seem to be anything. Pappy actually going for some sort of sack play, does get cleaned up. Thomas was on sniper. I think it was a distraction play to try and get Thomas in, but Connor, very experienced, knows where to position himself. They've got on the side of Feint, though, they've got that level 3 sentry gun, so they ain't moving. They're staying nice and chilled. Even though they've got this 100% Uber ad, they don't need to risk it as much. Like, Lucas is trying to come in, but he's not on his own. My God, Lucas getting some amazing pipes. Credo having a little bit of a fight in the back line, but Seeds using out his Uber, giving the advantage back to Connor. And Credo kind of trapped in, going to get cleaned up maybe on suicide, as he does manage to get into sewer and rejoin his team. But with 70% Uber versus 20, advantage is currently in Ascent's hands.
Yeah, that was still like a really nice push out of last though from Feint. That was really nicely done. Like I think it was just all in Lucas really, like getting the frags there.
100%, like
picking up Zebo.
Ridiculous damage on demo, especially in a land setting. We are currently on servers, but once we get on those lands, the pipes are going to be even more terrifying as Pappy gets popped by Domo, and they're going in right now. Ascent. Polygon taking some space, but there's two players behind. You got Pappy behind, and who's the second one? Is it Ging?
Yeah.
Two soldiers.
Plus, you look at what you were saying, like Seeds built so well. He's already got his Uber, and Condog hasn't even used it. Like they forced an exchange, like again, like in the time they've had 2 Ubers in the time Condog's had 1.
Yeah.
But neither Uber really accomplishes anything.
Absolutely stellar work from Siege there. Just a phenomenal medic and building.
Gink's getting chased on second here.
Yeah, Gink's, but he's doing a really good distraction.
Yeah.
Ascent is so separated. Now they're going to be able to clean
Just
it.
all over the
They're
point.
trying to clear onto point. Domo doing a lot of work to actually separate that out, and that's going to make it 2-3. Ascent coming with a little bit of a comeback here, maybe able to equalize this. There is 11 minutes left.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time. Like either team could just completely win differences. Why am I seeing? That's why. Okay, I saw 3 scouts. Credo's going to snipe to mid here, and they do this a lot. Whenever Credo's on sniper, they'll just switch Zebasai onto scout.
Yeah,
I'm going to get on this Credo cam for mid. Let's see if we can get maybe some airhead shots on a jumping soldier.
Yeah, maybe as we do see a big. Oh, that's
One
a
headshot
dunk onto Classy, looking to get it on to Gink as well. And Pappy's going to go down. And right now looking for other heads to click on as Credo is doing some great work. Zebasai is actually cleaning up Lucas. He's not a bad scout. So this is a complete downgrade for having Credo on sniper, but they're getting pressured so hard, and Feint are just feeding their players onto Ascent. Siege needs to get out with Thomas in tow, and they're going to be able to get out at the last second. Credo very, very confident on that sniper, wants to peek already into second to see if he can maybe get anyone who's trying to stay behind and hold on to second.
Yeah, he knows that like Pappy was a spawner and Gink wasn't alive there when he was peeking choke. It's relatively safe play from him there. Like he knows that there's no one going to be able to get in on him.
Yeah, and right now, Ascent bringing it back. They've got 100% Uber, so does Siege, everything's equal. But Thomas actually on sniper as well, going to be facing off against Freddy. That is a terrifying situation to be in. But the rotations out of Credo into lobby right now, looking for an angle, getting spammed really nicely. Lucas keeping his head nice and low, making sure that you're going to have to spend a little bit more of your body to be able to get picked up. As Credo gets onto Thomas, wins the 1v1. Now looking for a second frag, looking to maybe get it onto Lucas, but Zebasai going to get fragged as they come in on the left-hand side with the Uber. Ubers have not been used by Siege. Siege was actually hiding in the dispenser, the classic way to defend against a good sniper. And Pappy at the tail end of the Suba is going to go in, try to get onto Domo. Domo does take some damage. Pappy is so low, but Feint still alive with their players, trying to push out using Lucas now. But they have to be careful because Credo is still on that sniper. He just pop off, get some good frags, looking for that high bomb coming out of Gink. Just completely denied him in sewer. And Arms on the spy as well. It's going to be interesting.
The double pick classes, yeah, like. Oh, no, he's ran into Gink. Yeah,
Gink knows.
Yeah, I think Ams just has to.
Oh, Gink's found. Ams trying to get away with it, but now Credo gets the headshot onto Gink. And it's a trade apiece, so we're not going to see any pressure coming out. As Zebasai dealing with Pappy in sewer, trying to see if he could get the frag, but he ends up deciding not to go for the pack and just get heals from Siege. It's a mobile pack.
Yeah, I don't know what the AMS play was. It sort of looked like they were trying to make show that PC was empty and Zebasai would run away, and then AMS would go behind and just decloak behind the combo or something. But I don't know. Like they've got Credo sniper in sewer. Yeah, we've got Polygon opening the door for Credo here, but no one's really peeking him at all. Like they all know better or should know. And as I say that, Credo gets a headshot on the Pappy.
And looking for extra entry frags out of Credo right now. He's looking to get onto Siege. He could maybe get the Lucas pick. Lucas jumps to the last second. Uber's actually come out on Siege. They're pressuring, having the exchange. Thomas is just going to go for Credo, but Credo just dodges absolutely everything. Domo is covering that up, but Siege does go down to Ams. And right now, Ascent surrounded by all sides by Feint players. Classic going in, trying to get off the corner, trying to get the frag. Doesn't manage to connect anything. Then we got the bomb coming in from Pappy. He isn't able to connect anything. And right now, Feint scrapping away, trying to get onto Connor. And they just can't do it, Kermit.
I cannot believe Classy lived there. He was 2 HP. He peeked the choke against all 4 people and got so lucky that Ams and Credo were looking away. And then he ran away and Ams missed 1 shot on him. Like, he didn't even need to be at all close. That was just insanely lucky for Classy there that he lived.
But Connor actually on 90% Uber, huge ad compared to 40% on Siege. Siege trying to build it out, but Ascent are going to look to come in really aggressive on this right-hand side, deal with that sentry gun. Not even got an angle to deal with right now as the sentry gun does start damaging them, but Domo does go down. to a pipe from Lucas, and the center gun is down, but the force actually comes out from Gink, and they're going to try and go in with this Uberad. Pappy taking a huge amount of damage. The Hootis has come out. Lucas getting forced into spawn mode. Classy under the knife, but there's no one on point. Right now they managed to force them up, but there's so much time on the point. The bomb comes in. Huge amount of damage, but Zebasai does go down. Connor cleaning up Happy, and Feint trying to Kredu. Oh, just gets the 150 onto Lucas. If he hit that, that would have been everything. That would
that would. Well, they still need to actually like get the force onto Seeds or get a drop onto him. Like they could have pushed if they'd gotten Lucas there, but
trying to come in. Look at the damage, Lucas onto it.
Pipes.
Oh! That's a smash out of Feint. Good work from Lucas there. Pappy actually losing the 1v1 against Zebasai. Zebasai trying to win it out against Gink as well. Does end up going down though, Kevin.
Yeah, this is second. Lucas, yeah, they're just going far forward. They're going to just see if he can just stick you up choke before anyone can even try and come through, I think, for Ascent. Yeah, he's the sticks now.
Yeah, Feint did a really good
Kredu's still actually on Sniper, but he's just sitting in forward spawn right now. But yeah, he will switch back. He's just going to peek, get his shot, and then switch back because Zebo has gone back onto Soldier. So there's not going to be a Sniper for much longer.
Lucas going to clean up. I think he's aware. I think he's going to clean that up. Try to deal on Kredu. Kredu's 30 HP.
Oh,
he can't repeat that, so he has decided to go back. Lucas onto second with the rest of his team. We've got a little bit of an Uber ad. Does Pappy want to take it forward? It looks like they're going to do it. Right now they've done the Uber. Lucas is in. He's trying to get onto Connor. Hits one pipe. Doesn't hit the second though. Connor alive at 60 HP. Players are getting fragged left, right, and center. Center getting eaten apart. And Feint are going to bring this to 4-2. Sorry, I was about to say
4-2, yep.
4-2 to Feint. Good job from them. Really good push and aggression out of Pappy.
Yeah, it wasn't even like that big, like an Uber ad as well for Seeds there. There finally we're seeing, I think Thomas was actually spy checking like to make sure that Kredu wasn't sniping to mid again. It's like they just didn't do it last round and caught completely by surprise. So I know at least 7, like every single round will always check for like, you know, sniper or something funny to mids.
Yeah, Polygon on this 7th mid is going to go in. A double bomb comes in, but Seed stays alive so well. Gink is going to go down, but Lucas too far forward, going to get cleaned up as well. This is one issue he kind of has, is he does like to go far forward, but Connor is down while Seeds is still alive. So Feint need to keep hold of their medic. They're trying to come in with heals. We've managed to pick up Domo. Got some pressure from Kredu and Ams though, as Ams actually goes in behind. Kredu having the fight in IT, does get cleaned up. Ams now coming back in, gonna take a rocket. Surf.
Oh, and another direct.
Oh my god, Gink just
Gink with a taunt.
Smashing.
Yeah.
That's going to be mid-fight, really long mid-fight.
Yeah, that was really kind of bizarre. Like, it was really unlucky for Lucas as well, because like he was just on his own side of middle where all of Ascent were basically. Like both teams just kind of took each other's half of mid. It was kind of bizarre. Zebo goes down there to Gink. Yeah. So that is
this aggression out of Pappy as they come straight into 3. Hop, skip, and a jump from him, cleaning up Polygon. Domo down as well. They haven't even capped. Kind of coined the Froyo strat, but I think this is more Feint strat right now as they clean up Kredu. Connor down as well. Gink just taunting after every kill as Feint just switched on again, bringing it to 5-2.
Yeah, that's Gink, best player in the game. It's what, you know, he might be bottom of the scoreboard for his team right now, but he's top in the impact. He does so much in the mids here. We're actually seeing. Wait, Gink's gonna snipe to mid? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
They're gonna have Gink sniping to mid, give Ascent a taste of their own medicine, show them that they can do Ascent better than Ascent can, as Lucas very early on this right-hand side, dealing some damage piece by piece, as they're looking for the setup. Gink doesn't manage to hit the headshot.
He misses the AFK scout. I'm not sure how that happens.
You know, it's really hard to hit something that doesn't move, trust me, I'm an expert on that. As Polygon, it does go down. Zebasai now into choke, does a huge amount of damage, gets cleaned up. Domo with the aggression as well, Classic going down, but Gink now going to get, not going to get the frag onto Domo as Lucas does it for him. And Am's now pressuring, going to get cleaned up. And even though Gink isn't that impactful, Lucas has done a huge amount, sandwiching onto Connor.
Thomas
with some beautiful scatter shots, and that's going to be another mid to Feint.
Yeah, it's like Gink actually pretty much did nothing like at all that mid, but what he did do well, passively was just make all of Ascent want to jump onto him. Like, just the threat of the sniper, like, they just had to go aggressive, and
Lucas just walks
just
past
end up losing
everyone.
it. Yeah.
We're just like, oh, I'll just get behind you guys. That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. And
They all want to go behind him for Gink. That's absolutely fine by him. You can just walk forward and pound.
And now, speaking of walking forward, they're looking to add another round onto the board as they're looking to go on the right-hand side. They're Ubering in once again. Lucas, but he gets cleaned up by Credu. Tomath looking to clear the point, but it's not going to be enough as Zebasai is in behind as well. Gink going down, and it looks like Ascent managing to hold on to this last, but with 1 minute left.
Yeah, it has been. I think that's the only reason Gink sniped him mid. Yeah, it was just that it was mathematically impossible for Ascent to even draw the game, let alone win it.
And we're seeing very interesting DM fights. Is Gink on the Beggar's Bazooka?
I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, he is. He has how long? 40 seconds. Let's see if he can get something done with it.
Let's see. He's setting up the bomb
He's in.
now. He's looking.
He's in.
He's in. He doesn't hit anything.
Does nothing.
He hits.
Oh, he has one direct.
What a direct, but no, he doesn't hit much.
Doesn't get a frag.
Ascent not letting this let them down
Yeah.
at all. So they're trying to feel confident going into their next game as they bomb through. They're trying to clean up players. Arms maybe losing the 1v1 with Zebasai in tow and Polygon though. Doesn't matter, but that's going to be it. 5 seconds left. Congratulations, Feint, for taking the first map of I-65. It's been really, really good. That was a
Yeah, that was a very good game. It was action packed. Like it's one of those things. Neither team is content like with stalemates really at all. Like we saw a little bit where Feint sat on last and they just had like an Ninja and they would just sit there and build like their gun. They wouldn't push out until like they had like a good advantage to push on. But any time outside of that, it was just in. They would just go in.
100%. There was points where Papi was like speed shotting into last.
Yeah.
And they just loved playing that aggressive style. And that you got to respect Seeds. He was on the point with every little thing.
Yeah.
But as we know, I'm smooth-brained. I don't know that much about Team Fortress 2 apparently. So I'm going to pass it over to our wonderful analyst desk. We've got Eckstein, we've got Dumtum, and we've got your boy Epley. Over to you guys.
And an excellent match to start us off. Maybe a little bit surprising there with Feint taking that 5-2. Some initial reactions from you guys, and then we'll get a little bit more in depth in the stats as well as some of the individual performances we want to look at. Dom, your thoughts?
Really impressive on both sides, I would say. Obviously, it started really one-sided for Feint, and I think it was really important with how this went for Ascent. It looks disappointing 5-2 on the scoreline, but they managed to stabilize this in the middle part really, really well after a really one-sided beginning, so still really good improvement for Ascent.
And from you, Epley?
I thought it was really interesting the first kind of 7 or 8 minutes or so. It was actually, I mean, the rounds weren't going the way of Ascent, but all of the refights were going really, really well for Ascent. Kind of having a little chat in the crowd, we were saying about how every kind of refight, it was a case of Ascent was playing so well together. They were getting kind of so many frags, and then they just wouldn't quite be able to convert that into anything much. Like, they would kind of do their thing, they would win some really good refights, and then they kind of could convert that to, like, a point cap, and then that's about it. Then suddenly, you know, like, Feint would just like walk back in and kind of roll. So I was actually thinking to begin with, it was looking pretty good for Ascent, and then about halfway through, it kind of seemed like Feint kind of woke up for the day, and they were like, okay, we're not even going to give you that either, right? You know, Ascent, they had some really good opportunities. They had some great kind of pushes and some great different things, but honestly, I think the biggest thing is Feint are clearly on their game, and Feint are showing real kind of variety in how they do things. You know, they're doing different things on mids, they're doing different things, even last pushes, right? On process, it's so kind of standard how a lot of people push last, but every time there was kind of like a new Uber advantage, you know, Feint was going like, they were going right sometimes, they were going left sometimes, they were making it difficult for Ascent to kind of predict exactly what was going on. And as a result, I feel like, you know, just keeping that bit of dynamic play, like it was working really, really well for them.
Yeah, I thought one of the most interesting moments of the game was 5 minutes in, it was still tied 0-0, and you had Feint coming off a successful mid-fight, and then you had Ascent pushing through IT very aggressively with an early Uber charge. Dom, were you surprised by that aggression, or is that sort of what you expect to see from Ascent moving forward?
From Ascent, not at all. They are always the team that wants to play aggressive. That's what Amps wants to bring to his team, and compared to the other teams as well. He wants to play his playstyle more than anything, and like you said before, in the first few minutes, it was like here and there if it worked or not. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. Equally said, sometimes they were winning these fights really convincingly, but in the end, it didn't really accomplish much at all. And they slowed the pace down a little bit later on, not completely to the point where it was a stalemate game. They just picked their options better, I want to say, more than anything else. And I think that's the big learning experience here for them. They can't just go all in all the time. They need to just figure out what works, what doesn't. Yeah, this is like, I think, the perfect match for them to start. It does look bad, but they had the moments where it eventually went better, and I think they're going to learn from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look at the stats here to kind of really break down that we're surprised on. And right away, big standout there, Tomas with the 40 frags. Dom, some thoughts on you on perhaps some of the other numbers that stand out?
I mean, Thomas has been like around the shortest time, I think, of any of these guys in top scene, so it's always incredible to see people just step up in this short amount of time. We expect big things from Lucas at this point for sure as well.
Yeah.
That's not all surprising, and just really impressive game. I think the one standing out here the most is Domo, who had a really tough time already getting to do much, and again, 7 in the grand finals not so long ago. I don't know if it's just him not being quite able to do what the team wants him to do, or if it's just teams figuring out that they need to shut him down specifically.
A lot of times you have soldiers kind of being the sacrificial players, throwing themselves out there to get that ubercharge pop or to just get the damage, either following up off their demo or allowing their scouts to succeed. Eeply, are you a little bit surprised there by the performances of the Ascent soldiers? I mean, Zebosai, 15 frags, 28 deaths. You know, if he's playing a bit more of a roamer style, you know, that's to be expected. But also you got Polygon down there with 9 to 24. You know, do you feel like that could have affected Domo's performances, or what are your thoughts for the soldiers moving forward?
I feel like it was definitely really difficult for the Ascent soldiers to do a great deal, especially on some of the later mids. I mean, I think we saw about 3 mids almost in a row where Polygon would go for this kind of deep bomb towards the choke, but Feint would play that perfect kind of middle ground between being so far apart they can't spread the heals and being so close together they take the damage. The amount of times, you know, he'd go for like that deep kind of double rocket bomb and would hit like maybe 80 damage total, and then he gets cleaned up, and that's kind of it. It kind of felt between Polygon not finding a lot of success in mids, and then suddenly you're at an uber disadvantage, so as a soldier, it's basically your job to just dump in and die. And the fact that the kind of aggressive flank plays that, you know, Zebosai is kind of fairly well known for, like, you know, when you're against, like, some of these Feint players like Tomas and Lucas and they're just absolutely owning anyway, it's kind of like, I'm not too surprised, but it's definitely something Ascent need to look at. I think the biggest thing they need to look at, you know, more than any of that, though, need to look at, like, the root of the problem, right? And that's the fact that Seeds died less than half the amount of times as Kondok, right? In all these situations where, like, a mid-fight would happen, you know? Some mid-fights went really well for Ascent, some mid-fights went really well for Feint, but the important difference is that when a mid-fight went well for Ascent, Feint got out and they still had Seeds, almost every single time. And yet, when a mid-fight would go well for Feint, it would just be like, you know, Kondok would end up all by himself. Maybe someone would just go a little bit too aggressive. You know, someone couldn't quite get back to him, whatever. And then he'd either die super late, or he'd just have to kill by and come to the end. Just like, this is kind of pointless, right? And it's just, it's super, super difficult to play in those situations. Like, I feel like almost the difficulty Domo clearly had and the soldiers is almost a symptom of the fact that they played so much of the game with an uber disadvantage or a heals disadvantage. The amount of times, you know, you'd lose Connor and then everyone has to jump in, right? Sometimes you hit your shots, sometimes you don't, but ultimately you only have to take that coin toss because they couldn't keep the medic alive.
On that point of sometimes hitting shots, sometimes missing shots, and a high-risk, high-reward sort of situation, Dom, I wanted to ask you, you know, you've previously coached high-level TF2. What were your thoughts on the consistent sniper play from Kredu? Do you think that paid off in the long run, or some of these issues that we just talked about that Ascent were facing, would they have been better off to just run a second scout instead?
I think sometimes it's really the right way to go. It really depends on the situation, and it, I think, goes to the same problem Eeply mentioned with the Solis, especially in the mid-fight, that the same thing can be applied to the Solis, which is that in this example, they just rely on their playmakers a lot. Same example with the mids. They rely on the Solis a lot to make these huge plays so everybody can play off it, and if that doesn't happen, then nothing happens. And the same applies to Kredu and Sniper. He needs to hit the shots, and only then things can really get done. They have to rely on him, otherwise it's just dead weight for the team. It's about as risky as just doing sacks as before, but with the added benefit of obviously not losing anyone in the meantime. So it's obviously a little bit safer, but if you're already down like they were, it's just wasting time if it's not efficient enough.
Yeah. Now, TF2 overall is a very momentum-based game. Feint are definitely going to be feeling themselves moving forward. Eeply, what were some of maybe the other individual performances that you think that either the players are off to a good start or they're going to bounce back themselves?
I think Gink specifically, he did pretty well that game. Like, it's kind of difficult whenever you see a roamer doing well, because it's like sometimes they don't get a load of frags or a load of damage, but they'll have impactful plays. And that's kind of what the roaming role is in 2019, you know? You're not really going to get a situation where you get like 40 frags on roamer. That's kind of not how most people play them. And Gink he fills that role in Feint. He kind of has to do it, and he does do it consistently, and he's definitely doing it today. I think that's really significant, and I think, like, you know, I can't give enough praise to Seeds. I think, you know, I think we have a look at like the amount of Ubers like Seeds would manage to get over like Condog. Like I said, we've already talked about how he had less than half the deaths. Like, it's so significant just being able to constantly keep your heals pumping out. Like, you know, even just a case of like being able to heal more, right? You know, we're talking 5 more Ubers, we're talking about, you know, 120-ish kind of more heals per minute, but it's the consistency of having the heals, having the buffs, you know, that's like 100%. It's the reason why Thomas was able to kind of pound as much that game as he did. It's because Seeds is really, really on it. It's something we've come to expect from him, but it's always difficult, you know, kind of getting into the swing of things, those first day of lands. But, you know, it looks like Seeds is really on point.
Yeah, and I made a note about one of the instances of this, but it does actually look like Ascent's Connor died twice with a very high percentage of Uber. The one that I noticed for sure was in a very clutch round, the 6th round, where the score was already 3-2. Feint was pushing in, and Connor just had players dying right in front of him. And again, we talked a bit about the Feint aggression. I think, you know, particularly if the medic dies with 99%, that means that your aggression was completely correctly timed.
Yeah.
Dom, do you have any follow-up thoughts on these medic stats we have in front of us?
No, I think you really said it. Feint was just really good at picking the options. They were really efficient when they went in with it. Like you said, that 2 deaths with 95 to 99 is just like impeccable Uber counting to just make the most of really small advantages. And stuff like that is hugely important. I don't think we have death after charge, which I really like as a stat, because it often tells you how Uber exchanges go, or just pushes into last as well are highly important for that stat, which I'm not sure how impactful that was in this game specifically, but I'm seeing the number right now, because I don't remember all the pushes off the top of my head. What I do remember is that there were a few moments, and that is, I think, the biggest downside of Feint after we praised him so much, was that on both lasts, on their own and on the enemy last, I feel like they played a lot more scared than on any other point. There were a lot of situations where they gave Ascent a lot of space on their own last and just barely got away with blocking the point in time. If they lost any more players in those situations, they would have easily lost another round. As well as on their last, you praised them for trying creative options, and a few of them surely were. But when they went for the more traditional ones, they still had, I think, some things that were kind of flawed. When they had the classic right side push, you want to have your flank coming left, but a common issue with Feint over the past few seasons as well, and on different maps, is when they do these sort of standard pushes, they really want them to be heavily one-sided. In this case, right side push last, you want to have your flank left, and they really want this sort of like all right side style, and just like take the 6v6 team fight instead, and sometimes that's just not really the best option, and it clearly didn't work the few times they went for it. The other pushes were a lot more effective for them, I think, and it's just the last, I think, that was the weak link here for Feint. Otherwise, they played really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. Again, you know, 5-2 being the final score line, but things extremely close. You know, once it got to 4-2, that kind of really pushed things forward. So we are going to have some other matches come up. Let's get some closing thoughts from you guys on that first match, Epley.
I think the biggest thing is we've already seen it now. You know, first game that Ascent have been playing at LAN, we've already seen Zebasar and Scout, and I really, really think at this LAN, if Ascent are feeling a little bit shaky and they're not quite sure how to play things, 100%, I think they can play a bit more with Cradle and Sniper. But if they're going to do that, just for God's sake, just put Zebasar and Scout, right? Like, he's shaken off all the rust by now, right? He can do an incredible job on Scout. If they want to lean into that heavier, I think 100% they can get away with it.
And from you, Dom?
Yeah, I said before, really good learning experience for Ascent, and already really good learning experience realized by Feint to not let them get away with just the aggressive playstyle, and have to respect them a lot. They will only play better opponents from here, and we'll see how they manage with those.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, thanks so much for joining us. We got plenty of more TF2 action ahead of us today. So also, we'd appreciate your help spreading the word, retweeting on Twitter, hashtag I65TF2, nudging your friends on Steam and saying, yo, TF2. And, our next match coming up is going to be top 5 versus Quarantine Mass Damage. But before then, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so with more analysis of what you guys can expect for the action coming up. Stay tuned.